Warning, Karen alert. This video contains high levels of entitlement, over-the-top drama, and an urgent need to speak to the manager. Side effects may include eye-rolling and uncontrollable laughter. Proceed with caution, and maybe popcorn.
The Karen who tried to change the rules at the family reunion. The summer air buzzed with the scent of barbecue, the sound of children's laughter, and the low hum of family chatter. Every year, the Wilkinson family gathered at Grandma June's farmhouse for their annual reunion, a weekend of storytelling, homemade food, and friendly competitions that had been a tradition for over 50 years. And every year, someone tried to take over. This year, that person was Karen Wilkinson Preston, the self-proclaimed most successful family member. Dressed in crisp white linen pants and a perfectly ironed designer blouse, she stepped onto the grassy lawn with an air of superiority, her oversized sunglasses perched on her perfectly straightened bob. She scanned the crowd of distant cousins, uncles, aunts, and nieces with a look that said, they could be better organized. "Why are we still using paper plates?" Karen said, wrinkling her nose at the food table. "Wouldn't it be classier to rent real dinnerware, and don't you think we should hire a caterer instead of this potluck nonsense?" Grandma June, a sturdy woman in her 70s with bright, knowing eyes, wiped her hands on her apron and let out a slow, measured breath. "Karen, honey, this reunion is about family, not fancy napkins." Karen forced a smile. "Of course, but wouldn't it be nice to elevate the experience? I mean, who actually enjoys Aunt Patty's mayonnaise-heavy potato salad?" Aunt Patty, who had been standing right behind her, cleared her throat loudly. Karen turned around and fake laughed. "Oh, Patty, didn't see you there. Love the salad. Really, love it." Phase 2 of the Karen takeover began at the three-legged race. Every year, the Wilkinson family split into teams for the legendary relay races, but Karen had other ideas. "Wouldn't it be more fair if we assigned teams based on fitness levels?" she suggested, pulling out a clipboard she had apparently brought with her. "I mean, Uncle Ray has a bad knee and shouldn't be expected to keep up with, say, my son Bradley, who is a varsity athlete." Uncle Ray, sitting in his folding chair with a beer in hand, chuckled. "Karen, we ain't running the Olympics here. The whole point is that it's fun." Karen pursed her lips. "Yes, but wouldn't it be more enjoyable if people were appropriately more enjoyable if we kicked you out and kept playing the way we always do?" Uncle Ray fired back with a grin. The family erupted into laughter, and Karen's face turned pink. But she wasn't done yet. Phase 3. The talent show disaster. Every year, after dinner, the Wilkinson family talent show took place. It was terrible in the best way possible, a mess of out-of-tune singing, kids showing off their latest Fortnite dances, and Grandpa Joe doing his magic tricks, which mostly consisted of pulling a coin from behind people's ears. But this year, Karen decided the family needed judges. "Okay, everyone, new plan," she announced, standing on a picnic table. "We're adding a scoring system. Performances will be judged on a scale of 1 to 10 based on originality, talent, and effort." A collective groan rippled through the family. "I'll be the head judge, of course," Karen continued, flipping open a notebook. "And I'll make sure we keep things fair." Suddenly, little Maggie, age 6, stepped up to the microphone. Dressed in a glittery princess dress, Maggie took a deep breath and began singing "Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star" in the most off-key, adorable way possible. Karen grimaced. When Maggie finished, the family cheered and clapped wildly, except for Karen, who cleared her throat into the mic. "Okay, so, good effort, Maggie," Karen said, flipping through her notebook. "I'm giving you a 5 because your pitch was a little—" The crowd fell silent. Maggie's lip trembled. Grandma June stood up so fast her chair nearly tipped over. "Karen!" Karen froze. "Sit. Down." It wasn't a request. It was a command. Karen slowly stepped off the picnic table, her face burning as the family glared at her. Grandma June walked over to little Maggie, wrapped her up in a hug, and whispered something in her ear. Then she turned back to the family. "Now," Grandma June said, looking Karen directly in the eye, "let's go back to doing things the way we always have, with love, not scorecards." The family erupted into applause. Karen shrank into her chair, her perfect posture slightly slumped. For the rest of the evening, she didn't suggest a single change. She even ate a big scoop of Aunt Patty's potato salad without a word. And that was the year Karen learned that sometimes traditions exist for a reason. And Wilkinson family reunions? They weren't about elevating the experience. They were about enjoying the people, even the Karens. The bell above the boutique's glass door chimed, slicing through the tranquil hum of soft jazz playing overhead. Behind the counter, Olivia instinctively straightened, her years of retail experience allowing her to recognize trouble before it even had to announce itself. Trouble arrived in the form of a woman, mid-50s, her platinum blonde bob so precisely cut it could have been measured with a laser. Sunglasses perched atop her head, though it was evening, and her lips were painted with a shade of red that screamed entitlement. Olivia didn't need to guess her name. There was always a Karen. Karen Wilmington strode into the boutique like a queen surveying her court, her designer handbag swinging at her side as her sharp eyes scanned the displays. The boutique was a high-end affair, polished marble floors, gold-accented fixtures, and the faintest scent of vanilla and cedarwood in the air. It was the kind of place that catered to a certain clientele. But that never stopped people like Karen from believing they set the rules. Then she spotted it. A sleek black leather handbag perched elegantly on a glass stand, a price tag dangling from its handle. The number on it was offensive, of course, but Karen never paid full price. She lifted the bag, turning it over in her hands with a practiced scowl before marching straight to the counter. Olivia steeled herself. Karen slapped the bag onto the counter with a dramatic thud. "This," she declared, "is damaged." Olivia blinked. "Oh? What seems to be the issue, ma'am?" Karen sighed heavily, as if she had to explain gravity to a child. "Right here." She jabbed a manicured nail toward an invisible imperfection near the clasp. "That is a scuff, and I refuse to pay full price for a defective product." Olivia leaned in, studying the so-called damage. There was nothing there. Still, she reached for a microfiber cloth and gently buffed the area. "There you go," she said, flashing a polite smile. "Looks perfect now." Karen's nostrils flared. "Oh, sweetheart," she said, voice dripping with condescension. "You think wiping it makes it brand new again? I expect a significant discount." "I'm sorry, ma'am," Olivia replied, keeping her tone measured, "but we don't discount brand new merchandise." Karen gasped, clutching her pearls, except she wasn't wearing any. "Excuse me? Are you suggesting I pay full price for a damaged item?" Olivia folded her hands. "Ma'am, this bag is in perfect condition." Karen's eyes darkened. "Oh, really?" she hissed. "So you're telling me I'm imagining things? That I don't know what I'm looking at?" "I wouldn't say that, ma'am," Olivia replied smoothly. Karen's fingers twitched. "I'd hate to leave a very detailed Yelp review about this experience." Olivia tilted her head. "That's entirely up to you, ma'am." Karen's jaw clenched. "You know what? I need to speak to your manager." Olivia's smile widened just a fraction. "I am the manager." Karen's lips pursed so tightly they practically vanished. This wasn't how it was supposed to go. Usually she only needed to imply a problem, and the terrified sales associate would scurry off to find someone with authority, someone desperate to avoid conflict, someone who would cave just to make her go away. But this one wasn't budging. Karen turned back to the bag, as if reconsidering her strategy. "I know for a fact other stores offer discounts for minor imperfections. Are you seriously telling me you can't take anything off, not even 10%? "That's correct, ma'am." Karen inhaled sharply, nostrils flaring. Well, this is unbelievable. Do you even understand what customer service is? I do, ma'am, Olivia replied, still smiling. Karen scoffed. Clearly not, or you'd know how to keep a customer happy. The goal isn't just to keep customers happy, ma'am. It's also to uphold store policy. The words hung in the air between them. Karen's fingers twitched around the strap of her own overpriced handbag, her entire body taut with rage disguised as disappointment. She huffed, grabbed the purse off the counter, and spun on her heel. Well, I don't even want it anymore, she announced, as if she had won. Olivia nodded. That's perfectly fine, ma'am. Karen stormed toward the exit, each click of her heels echoing against the boutique's pristine floors. The bell above the door jingled as she left, and Olivia exhaled before muttering under her breath, "Retail really should come with combat pay."